Hi YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Joyce. Hi and welcome to Life with Joyce Nicole. So today I'm back with a car talk. I used to do this all the time where I would sit in my car and talk to you guys about things that were on my heart. And today I would like to share with you guys something that inspired me. Yesterday I was watching YouTube and this beautiful queen named Raven, who's a YouTuber who I am subscribed to, she made a video and she titled it, "Drop That Boy and Get a Man." And after I watched that, that really touched my heart and my spirit and made me truly want to share my testimony on how I had wasted so many years and so much time on being with boys. My whole life I've always been very, very shy and different. I dated, but I was never the type to have sex with my boyfriends. The only thing that I did was kiss my boyfriends and hug them. I was very, very close to the Lord and had a personal relationship with the Lord as a young girl. So as a young girl, that was my commitment to God, that I wanted to stay pure for my marriage and for my husband. And I was ostracized for doing that through school. When people found out that I was a virgin, that became something that people bullied and teased me about throughout high school. It was really, really bad. But for some reason, I always seemed to attract men who knew that I was just that sweet young lady, and they always took advantage of me. And I always attract the bad guys, the guys that weren't fully raised right or was raised wrong, or who were still childish, or who didn't know how to treat a girl or a woman. And I always tried to see the best in these men. Ooh, is there a bug? No bugs out here, y'all. I always tried to see the best in the men and the guys that I dated and married. And I always would pray that the Lord would turn these men into the dream man that I truly deserve to have. And I just wasted so much of my 20s and 30s on the wrong men. And I'm not telling you that they were men. I wasted so many years, precious years and time on boys who pretend to be men. And these men never treated me special. They always tried to make me believe that I wasn't a beautiful queen. They tried to make me believe that I didn't deserve the world. They tried to make me believe that I wasn't nothing special, that I didn't deserve anything. They tried to break my spirit. And once I started having children, they tried to break my children's spirit. And I always went to church, and not as a child, but when I got married to my second husband, our relationship, we were always in church. I was going to church first. He asked me what I was doing one day. I told him I was going to church, and he asked where it was. I told him, if you want to meet me there, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I never forced this man to go to church. I never forced this man to be a godly man or anything like that. But I do believe that's where I went wrong. This man didn't have a godly base. He wasn't a man of God. He wasn't a man who was already, sold out for Christ. He didn't have hard work ethic. He wasn't morally, set in his mind of what kind of man that he's supposed to be under God. And I overlooked all the red flags of this man. And I think that is something that us women and girls always do. We always want to overlook the red flags because we want to see the best in this man, or this man is fun, he's funny, or this man has a car, this man has money, or something like that. And we think that it's okay to overlook the major things, like a man having goals, a man who loves the Lord, a man who has things going for himself, his own place, a good job and education, a man who has respect for women and his mother, a man who you can see being a good father to your children one day, and I overlooked all those things, you guys. I overlooked those things, and I allowed my 2 husbands to break my spirit so bad that I didn't believe that I was a beautiful queen. I didn't believe that I deserved to have the world. I didn't believe that I deserved that. While I was pregnant, I had 4 children, and each pregnancy I was dogged out by my husbands. They disrespected me, cheated on me, left me. They didn't care for me. They left me to hurt on my own. They didn't care and love me and my baby the way I deserve to be loved. And that is, I didn't even think I would get emotional. The worst time to treat a woman like that is when she's pregnant. I'm telling you, every last pregnancy I had, my husbands treated me like I was dirt. I couldn't depend on them for anything. They left me. I was cheated on. I was left. I was abused. I was unloved and cared for. And it hurt so bad. And I forgave those men, and I stayed with them regardless of how they treated me. And I know that I deserve better than that. I deserved so much better. A woman is a queen, and carrying a baby is a miracle and a beautiful, beautiful thing. And to look back on your pregnancies and to remember that your husband didn't treat you like you deserve to be treated. Like, those are, if I ever even shared those stories with you guys, you would be so shocked on how badly I was treated when I was pregnant with my children. I was treated so badly one time that I actually left my husband because I was actually dying, and my baby was dying because he was leaving me for dead. He was not caring for me, and I got so sick. So yeah, those days I used to weep for that woman. I used to beg my husbands to love and care for me. And I always tell myself now, I would never, ever, ever beg another man to ever love me or my children. Ever. I deserve a man who sees me as the beautiful queen that I am, just like Christ says that I am. Ladies and girls, God wants all good things, and he wants the best for his daughters. And he doesn't want us to settle. And that was my problem in the past. I wasted so many years settling for the wrong man. And this young lady named Raven, that is a YouTuber that I watched her video yesterday, I was so grateful to see that such a young age that she finally got it. Young. She got it before I got it. It took me my 20s and my 30s. I wasted, y'all, my 20s and my 30s on men who didn't truly love me. And it warms my heart. God, I didn't even think I would get emotional about this. It warms my heart to see another queen, especially a young queen, finally get it at a young age that you do not settle. You do not allow a man to abuse you and emotionally abuse you and disrespect you. That you deserve the best. And don't settle for less ever, for nobody. Love yourself, ladies and girls. Girls and ladies, see yourself the way Christ sees you. He loves you. He thinks you are beautiful. He wants the best for us. He wants us to have the best. And you know when you're not getting the best. You know when you're compromising. You know when you are with the wrong person. You know when you're with the wrong man or with the wrong boy. You know it. You can feel it in your gut. The Lord always gives you red flags and warning signs that this person, this man or this boy is not the one. We have to learn to love ourselves and see ourselves the way Christ sees us, that we are beautiful, that we deserve the world. And another thing, ladies and girls, it is not our job to chase after a man or a boy. Girls and women out there throwing themselves at men and at boys, you're not supposed to be throwing yourself at no man and no boy. They're supposed to come to us and prove to us that they are worthy of us, because they're the man. And all these girls and these women walking around showing off their bodies and showing their butts and their breasts and doing all that, you're only bringing the worst men and boys you could ever think of to you. You don't want that kind of attention. These are definitely not going to be godly kings that are giving you the attention. They're going to give you the worst attention that you would ever want. So show some respect for yourself and stop showing off your flesh and your body and your skin to these men, and save that for your husband. Don't be afraid to be alone. It's okay to be single. I've been single for 2 years now, and I'm happy. I moved from California to Arizona, and I'll say maybe a year or two after I moved here, I got in a relationship with a man who lied to me and told me he was a godly man, and that he lied to me. He told me he prayed for a godly wife and a family, and that he always wanted to have a big family and kids. This man lied to me. He said he had his life together and that he was ready for a wife. This man had nothing to offer me or my children. I should have never even gave him the time of day, but this man lied. He lied to get my attention. He lied to keep me. He lied to get engaged to me. As we got engaged and we went through premarital counseling, more and more of this man came out, and he was a liar. He had nothing going for him. I had the 3-bedroom house in a gated community with a nice car. He was living in a trash apartment with a trash car that my father was helping to keep together for him. This man had nothing to offer me and my children, and he lied. He was a counterfeit. Another man, once again, coming into my life to try to destroy me and take from me and my children. So ladies and girls, be careful. And don't be afraid to say, no, this is not what I want. When you get the warning signs and the red flags of this is not the guy, this is not the boy, this is not the man, don't be afraid to cut them off. Don't keep entertaining counterfeits. Don't keep entertaining the little boys out there who haven't been fully raised by their mama. The ones that, the so-called men who don't have respect for women. The so-called men who don't have a car, their own place, a job. The so-called men out there who don't even know how to cook you a meal. You know, there's so many men out here just looking for their mama. This last man I was with, he was looking for his mama. He was looking for a woman to take care of him. This man was 8 to 9 years older than me, and this man didn't know how to cook. He didn't know how to work on a car. He didn't know how to go grocery shopping. This man didn't know how to do so much stuff. Do you realize how much of a burden he would have been on me? I already had 4 kids to still raise, and I had 2 sons. And if I would have married him, I would have had 2 more sons, because he had 2 sons. Now, why would I want my husband to be another boy, another son to raise? Literally had to tell this man everything to do. He was wishy-washy. He wasn't a strong king and knew what he wanted and what he was supposed to be doing. I had to tell him. How am I supposed to respect a man who can't even be a man? I'm being the man and the woman in a relationship. I should never, and you ladies should never settle for a man like that. You need a man who is a king, who is strong, who is steadfast and unmovable, who is not wishy-washy and lets other people make decisions for him, but that he goes to Christ and goes to God for decisions and prays and asks God to help him to know what to do for his family. A man that has a hard work ethic, who doesn't mind going out there working. The men that I was with, they didn't even want to work. They hated it. It's like they were so mad that they had to be the man and go to work. You don't want to be with a man like that. A man who's selfish and don't care nothing about you. This last man that I was with, y'all, this man was so selfish. I couldn't believe how selfish this man was. He was so selfish that he would buy his own drinks and he wouldn't share with anyone. And I'm not talking about just a personal sized drink. He would buy a family sized tea or juice, and he said it was his. He would hide it in the refrigerator, food and drinks from his own children and from us, because he didn't want to share. He was selfish, and his children were selfish. Now, how are we supposed to come together as a unit when me and my children are not selfish and we're sharing everything with him and his children, and him and his children are selfish and hiding and keeping things from us? And it's so funny, you know, my brother came down from California to meet him, and I told him about him, and he asked me, the first thing he asked me was, is he selfish? Because you don't want to be with a man who's selfish. And like I said, during that time, that man was lying to me so bad, I didn't even see the selfishness in him yet. But he was so selfish and so childish. It was ridiculous. For him to be in his 50s, you guys, this man was in his 50s and he was acting like this. It's really sad out there right now. That's why I'm single. You can't find a man from a younger to an older man that has their mind right anymore. They used to say date an older man and he had himself together. No, these older men don't got their self together no more. These older men, either they confused, they looking for their mama to take care of them, they still trying to be teeny boppers and trying to hang out and be cool with the younger guys. It's just confusing. Like, I just don't know if I'm even going to ever get married again, the way it's looking out here these days. But I just wanted to give a testimony about my life and how I wasted time. And I just don't want any more young ladies and even older women. It's never too late. Don't waste your time with the wrong man. Life is too short, ladies. Life is too short. I'm telling you, to waste on the wrong man. I know that we tell ourselves the lies from the devil. I did. My last marriage, I didn't want to leave because I had all these kids. And I was trying to make a marriage work because I wanted to have a family. And I was killing and torturing myself and my children trying to make something work. When this man did not want to make it work, he didn't want to change. And now look at me, I'm 46 years old. I wasted all these years with the wrong men. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sad that I'm single. I'm happy because I don't have nobody, no boy who's pretending to be a man, taking from me, abusing me, talking down to me, treating me disrespectful, hurting my children, any of that. I'm happy about that. But I do sometimes sit back and think about how I wasted so many years on the wrong man. And a lot of the times, ladies and girls, you can waste so much time on the wrong man that you miss out on your blessing. There could have been a man or a boy that God sent for you and you missed out because you stayed with the wrong person too long. And there are so many women right now, and it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. Because there's so many women right now staying in a marriage and they know they're not happy. Because they got a house with this man. They got children with this man. They feel like they're too old and nobody wants them. They have too many kids and they think nobody wants them. And that's nothing but the lie from the devil. And you stay with somebody that abuses you, disrespects you. See, when I left my husband, all 4 of my children were little. I had no job or nothing. I was a stay-at-home mom. And it was the hardest decision I ever had to make, you guys. 11-year marriage to finally end this. I stepped out on faith and I left with my 4 little children. So if I can do it and God had my back, He'll definitely have your back too. So don't ever be afraid to start over if that's what you need to do. If you are with the wrong man. Oh my goodness. I didn't really think I was going to get this emotional, you guys. Comment below, ladies. And let me know, have you experienced any of this? Have you ever been through any of this where you felt like you've wasted so much time with the wrong men? You've given up so much of your good youthful years with the wrong men? Or comment below if you feel like you're still with the wrong man and you're afraid to leave, or you don't know what to do about your relationship. Because I know there are so many women who've been through this or still going through this. And I just want to give my testimony that don't be afraid to love yourself. Don't be afraid, queen. Ladies, you guys are queens, beautiful queens. Don't be afraid to love yourself. Or if you have children too, your children, love your children enough to not allow yourself to stay with somebody who doesn't love you and respect you the way you deserve. Thanks so much, you guys, for stopping by and watching and tuning in to Life with Joyce Nicole. I'm sorry for such a serious topic, but I felt like it was on my heart and I needed to speak on it. And I just really have so many stories to share with you guys. I know you don't know a lot about me, you guys, but I have so much that I can share with you guys. And this is just one of them. I hope you guys have a blessed Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you guys in another Car Talk.